Copyrighted image, copyrighted images, copyrighted image, full-blown leaked summary of the final episode of My Hero Academia that is set to come out tomorrow, but it doesn't just stop there. We also have people complaining about the final episode before it even airs tomorrow, and I'm going to just get right in front of this real quick and just play defense. First off, if you have been watching My Hero Academia's final season, there's no way you have not seen the absolute disastrous state of One Punch Man Season 3 and how bad it really can be when you compare the manga to the anime. And so when I take a hard look at this, it's like, dude, accept your 9 out of 10 final season. Just accept your 9 out of 10. Because it has been a fantastic final season of My Hero Academia. People that are outright haters of My Hero Academia have come out of the woodworks to say the final season is great. People that have dropped My Hero Academia and has been just basically done with it for years has come back to the series because the final season has been so good and also the meaning behind the entire situation. And I'm just like, dude, holy crap, chill. Just chill. Just, can we have one episode, especially the final episode, okay? Where we are like, you know what, let's celebrate the finale. Let's be happy the series happened. Let's be happy that it got a conclusion and it went out in a legendary way that isn't a sad whimper that is poorly animated. Because My Hero Academia's final season has been anything but poorly animated. It has been great from the beginning to the very end. And I'm just gonna say, this is just absolutely crazy, the drama that this has been causing. But anyways, I don't want to just focus on this. I more or less just want to talk about the community's reaction to the finale upon us, my personal reaction to the finale upon us, but also My Hero Academia as a whole, and where we're going next once the finale airs tomorrow. So first off, let's just get right into this. So we have literally less than 24 hours until the finale officially airs for the entire world to finally see. And it will mark an end to a 11-year journey if we're counting, for instance, the date of the manga when it started back in July of 2014. My channel was relatively young at that time. It was less than a year old when My Hero Academia came out, and the fact that, you know, it has been that long, it marks a massive milestone, not just for the series, but for me as an individual, because I have been actively following this series as basically as long as my channel has been around. And the fact that the series is coming to an end tomorrow in anime form, it legitimately hits me pretty hard. And I think it's going to take weeks for me to really reflect and think about just how a big part of my life is officially gone. It's going to be gone. There's not going to be any new content unless there's some form of shadow announcement tomorrow. But judging by all the leaks that's been coming out, for instance, all the copyrighted images, I'm going to assume that there is no announcement for a follow-up. For instance, like a special movie or anything like that. We'll get into that in a moment. But the point is that My Hero Academia is coming to an end. And it is going to be a very sad day. And it's going to be an interesting day. Because you're going to have a lot of variety of things that's definitely going to happen tomorrow. First off, you're going to have those that are going to be happy to see the conclusion of a series they love so much. And that, you know, they're going to be satisfied. You're going to have those that are going to be mixed. They're not going to be completely satisfied, but they're going to be like, yeah, whatever. You're going to have those that absolutely hate My Hero Academia. And no matter what happens, no matter how good it is or whatever, they're going to hate it. And they're going to absolutely dumpster on this episode in every single way they possibly can. They're going to either meme on Deku saying, you know, he's a McDonald's employee. You're going to have people saying he's no longer a hero. Everybody left him behind or forgot about him. You're going to have the shipping community that's just going to go outright bonkers tomorrow because they've already done it in the last week, going out of their way to really be upset that Ochako and Deku is officially a thing, that it's very clear there's some romantic energy and sparks between them. They have been losing their mind this entire last week, and I expect that to get even worse in the upcoming days as the finale finally drops. Because I'm just going to say this right now, if there is one thing I have learned about manga, especially shonen manga, when it comes to an end, the shipping discussion just gets toxic. It's always toxic from the very beginning, but My Hero Academia shipping community has really been toxic for many, many years, way over a decade. And I feel like once the finale drops and there's no arguing on who is going to be with who, the anime-onlys are going to be able to see that. Get ready for some massive copium, massive hatred, people slinging death threats to Horikoshi, people burning their manga, saying the anime is the worst, it's a 1 out of 10 because Deku doesn't end up with Bakugo or something, and it's going to be something. It's going to be an absolute shit show when it comes to that. But the point is there's going to be a lot of reactions for tomorrow's episode, and I'm honestly more or less, I'm looking forward to not just what the community thinks about My Hero Academia, but also just how a big part of my life will have finally a conclusion. It is a series that honestly I owe a lot of respect to. Without My Hero Academia, I don't think my channel would be the same. Like, I reviewed so many chapters, hundreds upon hundreds of chapters. I made so many discussion videos of the series, Fury videos, random news videos, talking about Horikoshi as an individual, his previous works, and what potentially is coming next, to drama and all that. I have had so many videos just dedicated to My Hero Academia, and I've been just making so much content on this for so long, it's going to be weird to know I'm not going to really be able to talk about this series as consistently as I once did, because it will officially be over. Now, with that being said, I do want to say that I don't think this is truly completely the end of My Hero Academia. And the reason why I think that is because it is a massive property. It's an absolutely huge product. And I feel like even if Horikoshi wants to move away from My Hero Academia, I feel like someone else is probably going to pick up the series and continue it in some shape or form. And if you don't know what I mean, there's often times where an author will be done with their work, they don't want to continue it or whatever, and they want to work on, let's say, a new manga or whatever, and they just give over the rights to someone else, another writer, and then they more or less become someone that's yes or no if they like the decision making for where the story goes. And I could definitely see that happening to My Hero Academia, to where it gets a continuation, but Horikoshi more or less becomes a supervisor instead of a direct writer for the series. That's what I think eventually is going to happen, because the world of My Hero Academia, there is a lot that can still be explored. I mean, the whole singularity stuff that was hinted at for hundreds of chapters, that can really be explored for the future generations within the My Hero Academia verse, to even segueing into a sci-fi story, because let's just hear me out on this one real quick, okay? I mean, would it be really surprising if, there was a continuation of some kind of, sci-fi? I mean, you have advanced technology within the verse, you have buildings floating in the sky, these massive rocket-powered buildings being floating up in the air with the help of quarks and stuff, quarks that can teleport, black holes, etc. When you factor all this stuff in, it really isn't an impossibility that you couldn't have a sci-fi continuation. And when you look at just how what's in and what's trending right now for manga, demons and sci-fi are the in right now. That's what a lot of people want to read. There's a reason why JJK kind of shifted into more of a sci-fi aesthetic as of late, because people want sci-fi, but they also want maybe some supernatural / demon type stuff. And so having My Hero Academia shift into a sci-fi-like story, I think would be a nice progression of it, because it would make sense. It would not have any growing pains, because the technology has been there since the very beginning. It's not something that would come out of left field. Now, if it turns out to be good or not, that's just up to us seeing. I mean, we don't know if it'll be good or not. It just depends on the writer. But I do think that My Hero Academia has a lot of avenues it can explore. Not every single door is closed, and I think that in the future we will see something, but it depends on really how long it will take to actually get something like that. Now, with all that being said, there is a few things I do want to say, which I've been holding back on. Tomorrow is the finale, obviously, which I've already mentioned a few times. I have neglected to talk about the content of the episode, and the reason for that is because I'm saving my overall thoughts of the story and the development, the conclusion of these characters for tomorrow, because I want to talk about it within the episode review, the finale. And so I'm going to be doing that tomorrow, so look forward to that one. But I will say one thing. I do think that there is so much hatred that My Hero Academia's ending gets that is unwarranted, and I feel like I want to take a few moments to talk about that. I want to re-mention this in tomorrow's video, but I feel like this is important. I feel like My Hero Academia's ending gets a lot more hate than it deserves. I don't think it's a perfect ending. I'm not saying it is. But the fact that there's a lot of people that instantly think Deku became a fast food worker or a McDonald's employee, I'm just that's not what happened. He became a teacher, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, he literally became a teacher to help the next generation, let them know what's going on, be an actual leader for people, and then at the end he gets literally technology to help him become a hero once again. It's not like he became someone that's not a hero and not able to do anything. He's on the front lines once again. And a lot of people seem to neglect that and don't mention that. Like I said, I don't think the ending's perfect, but it's definitely not something that's bad. I feel like, I know this is bad to make a comparison, I know people don't like this, but I feel around the same time when My Hero ended, JJK ended, I feel like JJK's ending was just much worse. Now, yes, I'm talking about the original JJK ending. I'm not talking about the additional pages and chapters that were added. I'm not talking about the new sequel continuation of JJK. I'm strictly talking about the original ending of the manga that we got. It was not good, and I feel like the backlash that My Hero Academia got was much worse than what JJK got, which is weird, because the ending of JJK was very unsatisfying for me, and I think a lot of people had a lot of unsatisfying feelings towards the series thanks to that. But regardless, the point of the matter here is, it's ending tomorrow, expect a video on it, and I'm probably going to try to hold back some tears. I might cry tomorrow, so get ready for that one. You might get to see me be a big baby and cry and all that with me recording myself, because I've been following the series for so long, and to see it come to an end is going to be painful. But okay, guys, I love you. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. It does help me out a lot. Leave a comment on the video. Helps with the algorithm. Love ya. Chibi out.